Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Capri King in the building. And the message of this video is, it's fairly simple as usual. And this goes for anybody out there that might be looking to be in a relationship. They're looking for their future significant other, future wife or hubby, whatever the case is for you. If you're pursuing somebody, or if somebody's pursuing you, whichever way it goes, never give too much of yourself to somebody or go out of your way to prove how special you are to that person without them doing the same, basically. So if you give too much of your heart to somebody without making them work for it first, or without them proving to you that they can do the same, that sends them the message of, this person is way too easy. I didn't even have to do anything. I didn't even have to prove my worth to this person, and they're already bending over backwards just to please me. So this person doesn't have a backbone. What do I have to respect about this person? And then from that moment forward, that's the one factor that's going to make them overlook you. Because you got to keep in mind, 9 times out of 10, I see a lot of people and they chase people just based off of their looks. A person could look good, they could be really pretty, or they could just be at a high status in life, or they could just be very likable. They might have a lot of friends, everybody likes them, or they're just highly desirable. A lot of times, 90% of the time, these are the people that we tend to chase after. But we have to keep in mind that, first of all, they have a lot of options, whether it be a guy or a girl. They have a lot of options besides just you. You know what I mean? So there's a 90 to 95% chance that they're not going to pick you anyways, unless there's something special about you that stands out compared to all the rest of their options. You can't expect them to be loyal to just you. And most likely they won't be. Whether it be a guy or a girl, most likely if they have that many options, they're going to exercise those options. You know what I mean? They're going to be very promiscuous because they can be. They have the right to be. It's not like they're just an average Joe. They're just your average guy or girl, and they don't have that many options to work with, and you're one of their few options. If that was the case, then you could afford to be a little careless with your actions. But for one, you have to play your cards right anyways. And my point is, if you're giving your full heart to a person like that, knowing that 9 times out of 10 they're not going to give it back, or just knowing that they're going to be messing around with a lot of people besides just you, I feel like you're just playing yourself, bro. Like it's basically like you're asking to get curved. You know what I mean? It's basically like you're asking to get overlooked. This person has done nothing to prove their worth to you, and you're already ready to go out of your way just to prove how special you are to them, just so that person will like you more. There's nothing to respect about that, bro. And even if you are saying in your mind, like, I want to go out of my way to prove how special I am to this person compared to all the rest of their options, just so there's something about me that stands out. That might be the case, but what if they're not willing to return the favor? You know what I mean? You don't even know if this person's worth it. Yeah, sure, you know that they're highly likable. A lot of people like them. You know that they're pretty. You know that they have a lot of money probably. You know that they at a high status. You know that they're very desirable people. But the point is, there's a lot of people like that fit those categories. You know what I mean? Beauty is very common. Being at a high status, especially if you're a rapper or actor, that's very common too. Just being a likable person in general, that's common. All of these things that I just named are very common qualities. But you know what's not common? Finding somebody with a special heart. You know what I mean? Finding somebody that's loyal. Finding somebody that will stick by your side and have eyes for only you. You know what I mean? Finding somebody with a good heart. Finding somebody who has a good personality. And so on and so forth. I could go down the list of all of these traits from within, but we're going to be here all day. That's my point. That's not common. And they haven't even proven to you that they could be that special person to you that you need in your life. And you're already ready to give it all up and throw it up and put it all on the line for this one person. That makes no sense to me, bro. So you can't be surprised if you end up getting curved by these people, or if you end up getting overlooked by these people. If you want those people or just anybody to really value you and really like you and really eventually love you, then you have to make them work for it. You know what I mean? You have to let them know that you're not easy, just like all the rest of their options. You have to let them know that just because they might be at a high status, or just because everybody likes them, they're who everybody wants to be like, or just because they may be beautiful or handsome or whatever the case may be, just because they have these qualities doesn't mean that that's enough to win you over. You know what I mean? For you, it takes a little bit more. Sure, that stuff might satisfy your average Joe because that's what your average person's interested in. But you got to let that person know that that's not going to win you over. You know what I mean? It's going to take a little bit more work than that. Eventually, they're going to notice that. Eventually, they're going to take notice of you compared to everybody else. Like, I'll give an example. Like, let's say if you go at a club or you go to the bar or you go to a lounge or just anywhere outside of your house in general, you know, and you see this girl and she looks as beautiful as ever. It's probably the best looking girl that you've seen in a while. And you see all of these guys trying to pursue her, trying to get her number and whatnot, trying to holler at her. And you're the one person that's just sitting on the side, just minding your business. You're probably on your phone. Now, once they see that, compared to all of these other people, all of these other dudes that are chasing after her, once she notices you, that you're the only one that's not chasing after her, that's going to win her attention because it's going to be like, you know, you're different. That's something that's making you stand out. You're not easy like all the rest of these dudes that are chasing after her. It's just like all of these other dudes are trying to holler at me, but this dude is just sitting over here not paying me any mind. Like, am I not doing it for this person? Like, what am I doing wrong? That's going to catch their attention because that's not something that they're used to. They're probably used to every guy in the world trying to get their number and try to holler at them. And this thing and the third. But once they notice you, it's going to be like, they're not used to not being the center of attention. They're not used to people not paying them any mind. So that might entice her to come over to you. You know what I mean? And then at that point, you're going to have the ball in your court. You're going to have the power. You know what I mean? And let's say she comes over to you and she says hi or whatever. You don't have to give in right then and there. You don't even know this girl. You know that she's pretty and you know that a lot of guys want her, but you don't know if that's your special somebody. What has she done to prove to you that she's a special girl? Because like I said, beauty is very common. It's very easy to find a beautiful girl, but it's not easy to find a girl with a pure heart or just anybody with a pure heart. How do you know that she's special? She hasn't done anything to prove her worth to you yet. So my point is, do not give in to any girl or do not give in to anybody without them proving their worth to you. Because once they see that you're making them work for it, it's just gonna be like, well, dang, bro, like, it took all of this. It took me doing all of this and all of that. It took me going all that on my way just to win this person over. You know, this person is not easy. And at that point, they're going to gain a lot more respect for you, whether it be a guy or a girl. It doesn't matter the gender. I was just making an example, but it doesn't really matter the gender. Just anybody that's desirable or just anybody in general. Once they see that you're not an easy person, not only will they gain a newfound respect for you, but also that's when you know that you got the green light that that's a special person. And then at that point, that's when you can afford to give a person your full heart. But never do it before they prove to you their worth. Because you know that you're a special person. You already proved your worth to them just by standing out from everybody else. Just by standing out from all their other options, you've already proved your worth. So now it's their turn to prove their worth. And then and only then, when they do that, then and only then do you give them your full heart. But never do it beforehand. Are you getting anything out of it? You know what I'm saying? Because if not, then they're going to be the only people that's benefiting from the deal. But they're not holding up their end of the bargain. And it's not their fault because you're not making them. You know what I mean? you have to be a little stoic. You know what I mean? Like, don't go revealing everything about yourself. You know, keep them working for you. You know what I mean? Give them work to do, because people like that, they need work to do. Because if they don't have any work to do and you just let them get it without having to do any work, then it's just like they get bored with you. You know what I mean? Because it's like there's nothing else left that they can do with you. You've already told them everything about yourself. You've already exposed the type of person you are. You've already went out of your way to do this thing for them and that thing for them. Like, they have nothing left to do with you. So it's just like they're going to move on. They get bored with that. If you want to keep people interested in you, you have to make them do work. You got to make them work for it. You got to play hard to get, you know? And they might not like it, but at the end of the day, they will respect it. And they're just going to keep on trying to pursue you until they could get that side of you out. And eventually it's going to reach a point where they'll do anything to win you over. And, you know, that might lead to them showing you how much of a special person that they could be. And then once they do that, you officially got what you wanted, because that's all you ever wanted from this person. Anyways, I hope that y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, then feel free to leave me a like, comment, subscribe, all of this good stuff. And, you know, I got more on the way, so just stay on the lookout. But until next time, I'm going to catch y'all on the flip side. Deuces.